everybody. This is Love from Above with your Sibling Spirit Guides. I'm Maureen, and this is my brother.
Hey, Maureen, this is Brian.
So, in this podcast, we share channelings we receive from star beings, ascended masters, and occasionally our ancestors. And Brian, you know what? I think of all the podcasts that we've done, I think this is my favorite. Today's topic is Four Steps Towards Ascension. And who doesn't want to ascend into the spiritual plane? What do
Absolutely.
you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's going through it, or I mean, most people, a lot of people are going through it. So I think it's very relevant these days. And I think more and more people are becoming aware of this. So um, it's a great topic.
Yeah, so this came through on May 11th of 2024, and it was from a new group of star beings introduced by the Watchers, and they said these are our closest allies in the Galactic Conference. We hail from twin sisters. So do you want to go forth and start with what the four steps towards ascension are?
Yeah, but just beyond that, so they didn't, I forget, they didn't have a name, or sometimes they don't say, they don't really call themselves a name. Is
Well,
that?
I'm glad you brought that up. This was kind of strange. So at the end, they went into this detail, and they said that a lot of these beings don't use names. So they said, we understand your custom is to assign a name. And so they said they requested that the name be Athena. And they said they have nothing to do with the goddess. Athena is the goddess of war, is she? I believe
I think
so.
so.
Yeah, they have nothing to do with that, but they liked the manner in which she was born, which is interesting. I never looked it up, but I do know my Greek mythology, and I believe that Athena was born from not from a woman, but from Zeus himself. I think Zeus had a headache, and she came out in his headache. So I don't know what they like about that. I don't know what I remind, and this is a reminder to both of us. I got to look that up, but this is the only message we ever got from them. And like I said, their name isn't Athena, but they like that story. So that begs the question, like, how does that relate to them? Like, I don't know. They like the fact that Zeus birthed Athena, or I have no idea.
Yeah. All right. And then just one other question before we get into it. Do you know what they mean by the twin sisters?
I have no idea.
Okay. All right.
No idea. And
So
so
sorry,
I
sorry for us. We don't know all this, but anyway, maybe someone understands that. And anyway, it's something that I thought I'd ask. But all right, so they said we bring forth news of how to shake off the shackles that have held so many of your kind in bondage. And so the step one is the first key to awakening is to invoke the presence of other beings of light and love. We understand there's a saying in your culture about moving a mountain, but to ascend on an individual level is indeed a surmountable feat. However, it requires the effort of many to rise above the fractus fray, the chaos of bubbles upon your planet energetically. So,
yeah,
what do you
that's
think?
interesting. I mean, because really it's true about anything. Whatever task you really surmount, you can always thank a million people to get to that place where you've achieved a success. And the same is true with regards to ascension. It's never an individual effort. Um, and again, I mean, we did a whole episode on asking for help. So I find that really interesting. They went on to say the best way to do this is to lie in peace, or to imagine those who lovingly surround you, carefully, dotingly attending to your personal requirements. If you can imagine yourselves, instead of being a baby who needs to be constantly fed and pampered, to rising above to take the lead and charge upon that mountain, we shall be pushing you up all the way For no personal ascension is ever an individual task. Then they went on to say, this is exemplified by the story of your masters. Many of their early teachings have been forgotten. However, it was the push of millions of ascended beings who caused them to rise above the practice fray. So, yeah, I mean, that would even go with his teachings of Jesus, you know. I mean, apparently from all the books that we've read, Brian, I mean, he studied in Tibet and in India and had many, many teachers that allowed him to be the radiant light of Christ consciousness.
Yeah, but I think what's interesting is for, a lot of these books we've read, and I'll give some examples in a second, but, we're in this ascension to fifth dimension. And so in the past, yeah, there's ascended masters and people like Jesus that made this ascension, but it was, extremely difficult where they said the whole planet, I mean, the planet itself is ascending and, lots of people, not everyone, but I mean, lots of people are in this. And there is something to that where they said the power of the group is what's driving everybody forward as well. So it's a little, but it's very interesting to me. Yeah, like I said, I've been reading a lot of books about the ascension to 5D lately, and I think it's a really interesting topic.
Yeah, and my understanding is that those who, because the planet is ascending or ascended, that those who don't ascend, that, you know, it's their time to leave.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So,
moving on to step two. So the second step with regards to personal ascension is the purity of mind. And so this comes forth with the purity of thought and the purity of spoken word. And the tension of word is magnified. So I know we've read a lot of books about this. Words are really powerful. And so it's not only what you think, but and what you speak is really important. So to have positive thoughts and gratitude and things like that, then and not um, focus on negative things and negative energy, um, and speak about negative things like that, right?
yeah. And as a seer, I'll tell you, like, this was years ago, but so almost every night I see beings above me and they're lit with divine light. And like I could see like a bubble coming out of their mouth. So imagine like a joke, a cartoon, there's like a bubble. And I was like, and this bubble of light comes down to me. And I was like, what is the deal with these, bubbles of light? What is this? And I asked one day, and they said that literally your words are things. And that what I see are these bubbles that are coming, and these words are things. And yeah, and they went on to say that, it's so important to have in Buddhism, they call it right speech. That's one of the pillars of Buddhism, is to have right speech. And they went on to say, in this way, we admonish that joking should never be sincere. Your words do bring forth new realities.
Hmm. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we try to live by that. It's not always easy, but we're very conscious of what we say and what we think, and try and you know keep things on a positive note. But with step three, I know we've talked about on this session, I mean on this podcast before, is the Merkaba. And it's funny because I remember, Maureen, I'm thinking this was probably, I don't know, maybe a year ago or maybe a year and a half ago or something like that. I remember I was reading a book and they were talking about your Merkaba. And I remember, calling you or we were talking and saying, Maureen, what is a Merkaba? I don't understand what they're talking about. And you knew about it and you sort of explained to me. So we've come a long way. I think the best source on this is the Drenvelo Melchizedek, right? Now with the
Right.
flower, I should have that book. That I should look at it.
The ancient secret of the flower of life.
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
volume
that
one and two.
is
And in
it's a
volume two, he goes,
phenomenal work.
yeah, yeah. But in volume one and volume two, but volume two, he goes in step-by-step directions on how to do the Merkaba. And then, as we've mentioned, there's Merkaba meditations, but we actually recommend the Drunvalo Merkaba meditation. It's available on Spotify and others, I'm sure other places too. But so it's pretty short. I mean, Maureen, was it like 9 minutes, I think, and then it
You
goes
just
on
did
to
it.
13 minutes
Yeah,
with the,
yeah, it's 13 minutes. And I have to tell you, while I helped you explain the Merkaba, you helped me to be able to do the meditation. So I first read that book, and Drunvalo explains how important it is to, so your Merkaba is, literally your light vehicle. And once you get to a higher level, like you can use your Merkaba to, transport yourself to different places. It's an energy field that surrounds your body like a star of David, a three-dimensional star of David. But I couldn't figure out how to do that meditation. And I remember at the time I was in Paris and I would go to the Louvre because you had to visualize, one pyramid facing upwards and rotating clockwise, and the other pyramid facing down towards the earth and rotating counterclockwise. And I used to go to the Louvre and try and help that visual image of the pyramid to help me. And I tried it for like a month and then I gave up. But Brian found the meditation, which we now do daily, and I can actually feel the movement of something spinning when I do the meditation. How about you?
no, I don't, but the other thing for that was helpful for me is what is it called? The actual, the Merkaba, that geographic shape, I can't think of it now, but anyway, in the book,
The Arcturian, I mean the Vesuvian.
octahedron, is that what it is? Or tetrahedron, or I can't remember what it is. It's one of those, but it's this, yeah, like you said, it's a pyramid. It's like two pyramids, one going, up from up, and then another pyramid going down in there, but it's together. Anyway, or it's like two stars, more like the stars, but 3D stars. But it's sort of hard to imagine. And so in the book, and they recommend, or maybe it was another book, but someone where I read to get like a physical example of one of these things. And then that helped. I actually got something on, on eBay or something, or on Amazon, and then it helped me with the meditation. But anyway, let me go back to what their message was, and I know we've talked a lot about this, but it says, um, so they said around the Merkaba, the third phase of the ascension process involves the engagement of the Merkaba field. The Merkaba field is the transitional device which allows the individual vehicle to rise above the fractus fray. They like that word, fractus fray. Um, Engaging in the Merkaba is required to ascend in a personal and professional way. So that's a requirement for ascension. So if you want to ascend, you got to work on this Merkaba meditation.
Yeah, and with that meditation, and for me, I use it on YouTube, and on YouTube, there's the visuals. There are visuals um, of the pyramids rotating, and so that really helps too. So yeah, so we just actually did the Merkaba before we got online with this. So um, it is something that's important to do. So I'll go on to step 4, and I will tell you when I channeled this from Athena, um, I got the sense, now they didn't say this, but I got the sense that there's more than 4 steps, but it's like these are the first 4 steps, but that was just a general sense that I got. But this is my favorite step. It's step 4. They call the path of pure provisional triumph. Okay, I got to repeat that one. The path of pure provisional triumph. This is to know the path before you is indeed cleared of any obstacles. Any perceived opportunity that comes to you is a gift. To walk forth with confidence and not shrink at what life has to offer you. To see each moment as a jewel that has been carefully polished, honed for millions of centuries to present to you on an individual level. This is indeed every moment of your life. Relax and trust. This is indeed the path of the true adept. What do you think about that?
I love it. Yeah. So, I mean, that's one of my things is everything always works out for me, but I love this. Your path before you is indeed cleared of any obstacles. Who doesn't want that, right? I mean, come on. So it's interesting because so it's doing the first three, then that makes your path cleared of any obstacles. Because there's not much really to this one, other than they're saying that if you do the first, I guess assuming that if you do the first three, then your path is cleared to proceed. What do you think?
I think it's just this to me goes to one of the Byron Katie books that I read that where she talks about every single thing is a gift for you. And if we are the creators of our own reality, like we brought it to ourselves. So,
Right.
uh, and I don't think they go 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think anything works linearly, except in this reality. But I love this concept. And before we got online, I mean, I was talking with Brian, like, I'm at the end of my trip to Africa, and there have been some things that could be perceived as obstacles, but now I realize, like, boy, those have made me so much stronger, and they were such a gift. And I could totally see myself as my own creator of my life saying, oh yeah, I want to give myself this because this is going to really make me stronger. So yeah, I mean, I absolutely love this. I mean, I've got to add this to my daily prayer is a path of pure provisional triumph. And I love the name too. Pure provisional triumph, Brian. That's where we're at now. That's
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it.
yeah. So I mean, I we've done a lot of great podcasts, but I'm telling you, I love this message. It's simple and to for the first key is to invoke the presence of other beings of light and love. The second is purity of thought and purity of spoken word. The third is the Merkaba. And the fourth is this path of pure provisional triumph, which let's all triumph and relax and trust that everything that's placed before us is indeed a gift that we asked for.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
I'll close this out. So this is a great, thanks for putting this one together, Maureen. This is a great one. And so you're, as far as a closing note is that this message said, we come forth to this planet at an unusual time as many awake from the slumber of centuries. To awake and see the beauty that is before you is indeed a rare and unique gift. So, I mean, so many books we've read is just that it's such a amazing time to be on Earth as the whole Earth is going through this process. And so, yeah, just to be a part of it is really special.
And also, I think that last phrase, I was just taking a walk where I am, and to really be fully present and appreciate everything that's before you. I mean, so often, like I was noticing my mind wanted to run ahead and take care of tasks in the future. And it's like, no, I mean, to be here in this moment is indeed a rare and unique gift, and just to really appreciate it. So yeah, I'm thankful for you, brother, and thankful for everyone listening. And we'll look forward to sharing the latest channelings with you next week.
Bye for now.